The Hogan Family Foundation is an operating foundation that was begun in 1998 by Mr. and Mrs. Hogan as a means of giving something back to the travel and tourism industry, where they've been enormously successful over the years. They started Pleasant Hawaiian Holidays over 43 years ago and have known great success as the #1 tour operator to Hawaii in the United States. The idea of the Gardens of the World started soon after the formation of the foundation, and Mr. and Mrs. Hogan's feeling was that they had traveled to so many different countries and seen so much cultural beauty that they wanted to be able to share some of that with their neighbors, with the citizens of this beautiful area.
Well, Lynn and I got together and thought of the concept of what we wanted to do and create, and then we spoke to our landscape architect, Wendy, and also with Sid Drasden, a neighbor of some 32 years and a very fine architect, and begin to pull these concepts together to reality. And then with Chuck Melba, who we've known for 20 years, the very, very fine contractor, we got Chuck involved, and so I'd say the whole team working together brought about what you see today. It turned out as well as I envisioned. What do you think?
I think it turned out really better. I didn't think it would be this grand, really, and it's been just wonderful.
So we approached the city, and the folks there were very, very excited about the idea. They felt that it would be a wonderful addition to the city of Thousand Oaks, and were very supportive. We located the land on Thousand Oaks Boulevard, directly across from the Civic Arts Plaza, and it just seemed like the perfect location to do something like this.
And after talking to some of the city people, they said, gosh, we'd love to get rid of that eyesore that used to be a bar, and the old Yukon Bell that was probably very popular in its early days when the Pony Express came through or something. Then there was the old lumber yard that was very, very useful in its early days also, but had been abandoned as far as running as a lumber yard. So we purchased that property.
And we wanted something that was right near, this couldn't have been a better location. It's right across from the Civic Arts Plaza. It's in the center of town, and it worked out beautifully.
Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong 'cause I'm right. It's for sure not for maybe that I'm all dressed up tonight.
We actually broke ground in June of 2000. We had a lovely ceremony where Mr. and Mrs. Hogan and many of the school children from the area broke ground with the shovels and turned the earth.
We don't have the mineral right.
And that very day, which was in June of 2000, we started construction on the gardens.
We're stepping out.
Well, Mr. Hogan's very good at expressing himself and what he wants. You know, everything we put on paper, after we meet with him and put it on paper, we bring it by him, show it to him, explain it to him. He can envision what we're doing very well. A lot of clients have trouble actually seeing what you have on the paper. Mr. Hogan, he knows what you're drawing.
We looked over the property, and he said he'd like to do the World Gardens here. And I said, well, I think that's a magnificent idea. And we met with Thousand Oaks Planning Department, went over the project. They were very excited about it.
Everybody was excited about the project when they saw the concept. It would be a beautiful park to the community, and we just need to make sure that things will work out with regard to traffic and circulation and everything else, but everybody was excited about it.
My name is Claudia Pedroso, and I'm the Disabled Access Coordinator for the City of Thousand Oaks. And my involvement in this project was to review the design and also inspect all the walkways and flat work that was done for the Gardens of the World. The Hogan family was very, very cooperative, and the designers and everybody involved has been very, very cooperative to make sure that everybody had access to it.
I met Ed by designing his home, and I don't usually do public projects. I focus on styles, European, any style. You know, I love to design styles. So my involvement with this project is perfect because it involves so many different styles. It's like doing numerous estates all in one project. So to me, that, you know, related to the style of work that I was doing with the estates, and I just treat this as a large estate to wander through.
It's taken about 3 years for this to completely come to fruition. The building has gone smoothly, and with the ongoing support that we've had from the City of Thousand Oaks, we feel that we have brought this from concept to reality in a very short period of time, and we're very pleased with that.
All things invite us now to delight us. La 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 la. Hence care be packing, no mirth be lacking. Let's spare no treasure to live in pleasure. La 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 la.
Okay, at this time now I would like to bring up the family that made this wonderful addition to our community possible. So please welcome the Hogan family. That's Ed, Lynn, Chris, Glenn, Brian, and Hulk. Yeah, there you go. Okay, if you would just... Check, check, there we go. What a great looking family. Okay, now these are the people who made this possible for all of us to enjoy. And so right now I'd like to bring to the stage one of their old, very close personal friends of Ed and Lynn for many, many years. He is also a U.S. Congressman. Please welcome Congressman Elton Gallegly.
When I first met Ed and Lynn, I was like 6'2" and I had dark hair. But I have, I think, one of the greatest jobs in the world. You have the opportunity to meet some of the most special people in the world, people that love their country, love their community, and tonight I have the distinct high honor of joining a family that exemplifies that as much as any family I've ever met in my entire life. Their love of country, community, their generosity, and their care and compassion for the people around them exemplifies what Ed and Lynn Hogan and the Hogan family is all about. It is my honor to present to you, in this extremely festive and wonderful occasion, a flag that we had flown over the United States Capitol that we hope that you will fly over this great facility for many blue skies and green lights and happy days. Thank you so much for all that you do for all of us. Thank you so much.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
We want to thank you all for coming out to the park today. This is your park to enjoy. Lynn and I, in our travels all over the world, these many years, 42 years, we've been in our own travel business, and before that, we were both with the airlines. So we've had the opportunity, the blessing to be able to travel, meet people from all over the world, learn something about their cultures, and then have a broader understanding of life. And when you meet and know people, you become friends, and that's a peaceful existence on our planet rather than war like we're in today, because people don't understand each other's cultures. If you look over at the mission area here, that was the beginning. You know, Father Serra, I always said, was the first hotelier of California. It wasn't Motel 6, it wasn't Hilton or Sheraton or Hyatt or any of those fine organizations, but it was this little 5'3" padre that walked with his burro and knew that to bring people together and to build commerce, you had to have travelers who had safe places to rest and to refresh themselves before they continued their journey. Now, first, I was going to introduce our dear friend of 32 years, Sidney Drazdan, our 81-year-old architect, who is not here today, but I want you to remember him because all of he's done. Thank you. I think Sid is probably taking a nap after being here last night. Wendy is the landscape architect of the Chateau Plaisance and also of the gardens here. Wendy, would you please come up and be acknowledged? Wendy Harper. Chuck Melber, general contractor, has so much to do, and he was night and day, I mean that literally, like the midnight and so on, working to bring all of this together. And his crew, and some of them are here today. I saw Marco here earlier, and I know Jose and his sons who work so hard. And there's so many people here that deserve credit. It isn't one person that ever creates something as beautiful as this, but it is a whole crew. Oh, I forgot. We gave him a plaque last night, but we figured, you know, he's been shoveling it for so long. We've given this gold shovel for him to take home. You got a picture of that?
One of our objectives in opening the Gardens of the World is to make available a venue within the city of Thousand Oaks for people not just to come as a public park, as a place where they can walk and find a moment's respite and peace within the gardens, but also to make it available as a venue for nonprofit organizations who are interested in having activities, events, to raise proceeds for charitable organizations. We also plan to make the Resource Center available for small meetings, gardens, clubs, and that sort of thing, and make it a general gathering place. We built the bandstand, the replica of the Victorian bandstand, with the grass amphitheater in front of it, so that occasionally on a Sunday afternoon we'll be able to invite some of the local musicians, high school bands, interesting different cultural exhibits of music and dance, to be able to have a place where they can actually perform for the public. And hopefully we'll be having some concerts in the park where people will be able to come in and bring a lunch, a blanket, and relax on the grass and enjoy music on a Sunday afternoon.
The end result of this collaborative effort of the citizens of the community, the staff and senior staff and all the way through the staff structure of the city, and most importantly the Hogans themselves, this community now has Gardens of the World.
We were very pleased, and the Hogans were very receptive in working with the city to see the accomplishment that is behind me right now in terms of a community facility where people can go and see different parts of the world, so to speak, in a garden atmosphere.
Our experience with the city government of Thousand Oaks has been enormously supportive. These folks have just been terrific with their enthusiasm about this project and their support, getting behind it, wanting it to happen quickly. Our city manager, Mary Jane Laz, and Jim Friedel, our deputy city manager, have been so supportive of this project from day one. They have been behind it. Mayor Dennis Gillette was in office at the time that we first approached the city on the Gardens of the World, and he got behind it 100%. I never dreamed that working with city officials would be such a delight and such a pleasure, and that they could be as helpful as they have been in bringing the gardens to reality for the city of Thousand Oaks.
From the city's perspective, the staff of the city as well as the city council would like to personally thank Ed and Lynn Hogan and their family and the Hogan Family Foundation for this wonderful gift to our community that will be lasting and be truly one of the main features of Thousand Oaks. Thank you, Hogans.
It's an amazing project that's been put together in a very quick time frame, and I'm completely impressed with what Mr. and Mrs. Hogan have done, the Hogan Family Foundation. We couldn't have been more lucky as a city and a community to have them come here and build some magnificent gardens right across from our pride and joy, the Civic Arts Plaza. We're very fortunate to have such giving and altruistic members in our community.
I think it's magnificent. I think it's one of those assets to the community that we will have and enjoy virtually indefinitely, and all because of the thought, the vision, the caring of Ed and Lynn Hogan, Hogan Family Trust, their family, and all of the people that have worked so hard to make this a reality.